Yo, welcome to the show, it's the Hey Bud Variety stream, leave you buzzing on a good flood. Topics all the way from the serious to absurd. We talking about life, so listen to these words. Hosts bring the heat like summer in the city. Debates so lit, they nothing but witty. From cooking tips to conspiracy hits, you laughing and learning when we spit these bits. Hey Bud, tune in, chill with us tonight. Grab a drink, lean back, vibe so tight. Fun and knowledge blending, it's a special brew. Hey Bud, it's the podcast just for you.
We just don't do anything now. Because the thing, there it is.
Oh. Hey, bud.
Hi. Why does this thing never work?
Because you don't know how to operate.
No. I hit the. They're clearly labeled with blue tape for where it's supposed to go, and it never works.
Nonsense.
But we're gonna do a stupid one today.
I wouldn't call it stupid.
It's pretty stupid. I love it. I thought it was hilarious. There's some goofy stuff. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Hey.
We are on Rumble, YouTube, Spotify. Download the Rumble app. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hang out with us for a bit. We're going to do one of these a week, typically. And we cover all kinds of stuff, man. We don't really have like a good, solid topic. Although we did get into drones for a while, but that's mostly just because you and I were super interested in it.
It's because it's such a significant change and
It's a huge change.
something we both spend a lot of time in.
Yeah.
But
We should start a drone company. Why?
you saw me fly that thing.
No, I didn't say you needed to be an operator. I'm saying like in our imaginations, we could come up with some wild stuff. First off, Battlesnake would be awesome. I know that you disagree with me.
That's so stupid.
Battlesnake would be sweet.
It's so dumb.
Let's check out this first video that you've got pulled up here. This is some goofy stuff.
So exoskeletons, we went down a slight rabbit hole after all the drones.
A little bit of a rabbit hole.
A little bit.
Remember this insane video of Marines using a jetpack to board a Navy
Looks like
vessel?
so much fun.
Well, time for an update, as they've been making some
It
progress
looks
with this
awesome.
technology. For one, it's now quite
It
simple
looks-
to take the jetpack
yeah,
on
okay,
and off,
so
making it far more
they cut that
versatile
off.
for raiding operations.
It's not as easy
Jetpack
to get
is
out
now
of
in
as you
test
think.
forces, and it's a lot more efficient in terms of its propulsion, allowing it to take off from land all the way to its target and then back.
What do they got
Whereas
supporting
before,
his
it relied
arms?
on a
Because his
boat
arms are
getting
not going to
close
hold that thing
to
out.
the military
There's
is
got to
not
be a
its only
bar or
potential
something.
use.
It doesn't
Here
look
it's
like
being
there is,
tested
though.
as a
It looks like the
back
arm is
accessory
supporting.
to
Can you
access
imagine
those who are
getting on
injured
target and your
coast.
arms
What is
are
that?
just
What is
smoked?
that?
Access quickly with helicopters.
There's got to be a
Remember this
bar in it.
insane video of Marines
Gotta be
using a
something to
jetpack
help
board a Navy
all that.
vessel? Well, time for an update, as they've been
But I
making
don't-
some
do you see
progress.
Well, that's why
things?
they tried it with the Marines first,
For
all the
one,
pull-ups.
it's now quite
Ah,
easy to take the jetpack on
dips.
and off,
They knew what they were
making it
doing.
more
Dips.
versatile
You know how many
for raiding
thousands,
operations.
millions of dollars they saved without putting that fucking bar on every single one of those?
I mean, it's a cool technology, but all I see
Shit, it just didn't
is
close
like
up and we missed it.
weird people like snatching kids off of playgrounds and hooking them underneath their armpits and
just-
flying away with them.
I feel like the amount of people that could afford that, it could easily be traced back to like
Jeffrey Epstein could afford one. How many people would Jeffrey
feel like
Epstein
it's
have
just
stolen
not-
if he had a jetpack?
if I was stealing kids, not that I would. I feel like I wouldn't make such a scene by fucking jetpacking into the goddamn playground.
It's so loud. Like it's. If you guys go look these videos up on your own,
Oh,
like, it's wildly
also,
loud.
it's a guy flying in the fucking sky without a plane. It's
which
gonna
is sweet.
cause some attention. Who are you stealing?
All of them.
This insane video of Marines using a jetpack
All right.
to board a Navy vessel? Well, time for an update.
Turn the
as they've
video
been
off.
making some
Let's talk about some real world stuff as far as these jetpacks go. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan for like military applications, mostly because they're just so unbelievably loud. If they could fix the noise portion of it, that would be
Oh, and how
Awesome.
old is this? Because like you've got so many new.
this stuff's been out for a while,
Right, but
I mean,
but I don't know when this video was made. I just saw it. It just came across and I thought it was fun. But I mean, they've got personal, you'd say like electric drone / helicopter for
Yeah.
a personnel carrier type of thing, individual units, whatnot.
Yep.
Which would be much quieter. It's still going to make some noise with the blade or whatever. But
I get
I bet
get
it
the
has
idea.
it has its application, I'm sure. I don't think you're sneaking up on anybody with it, but you're getting close.
Well, on the second
Probably a little
part of
bit
the
less-
video where they're talking about like, oh, we could use this to rescue people that are in a situation where like a helicopter
Yeah.
can't get to them fast enough. So for like rescue mission stuff,
difficult
or
terrain
search
to get
missions,
to.
yeah, totally.
At least for like an immediate.
right. I
help.
think that's an awesome solution. I think that this technology, because of the way that drones and other platforms have progressed, I think it's already been bypassed, man.
Yeah.
Like realistically, that's
what I'm saying. Like you got the personal vehicle things and whatnot.
yeah, except for like maybe like your tier 1 guys, right? So you're gonna have like your CAG, your Delta, your
Well, I
SEALs.
can't
They
imagine.
might have some, like they would have a use for that.
I can't imagine you can get that to scale for anywhere as close to less expensive as the drone version would be.
The government,
You
dude,
know
they
what I
don't
mean?
care. They don't care what they spend.
They
on
do
it.
now.
Well, thank you, Doge. Appreciate that. I think it's a cool technology and it's an idea that we've had for so long.
I think
to be
it's
able to
worth
do that.
having some just in case that rare opportunity. It might work better
Sure.
for it.
But when they
it's not a
initially-
mass-produced thing. It's
when
been
they initially
bypassed.
started developing this, they were talking about like it was going to be something that was available down to like scouting units.
Yeah.
You-
But
like,
it took too long.
yeah,
It took too long.
way too long. And well,
It was too inefficient.
the progression of everything else has been so much faster. Now, this kind of moves us into our next.
I mean, you could almost mix them together if you really wanted to on some sort of platform. Use the jet-powered something or other to lift somebody around based on AI and drone kind of control technology.
You know what
I don't know why you need it, but I bet there's a reason sometime somewhere.
You know what I could kind of see this for? And follow me on this because I'm gonna work through this. I'm gonna work through this right now because I'm just thinking about it.
Hurry up.
What if that was like? What if these systems were AI powered? Right? It didn't require you to fly it, but it was like a immediate escape mechanism. Right? So
Did I not just say the same
So-
fucking thing minus escape mechanism?
no. So
Oh my God.
So, but think about like the application of that goes well beyond like a military deal,
Yeah.
right? You could have like these could be in like
I
12
said put that powered thing on a different platform with the AI and the drone technology of controlling it.
yeah.
I
cool.
just didn't say emergency
that's-
escape or whatever the fuck.
That's great. My point.
hey,
It doesn't.
I-
doesn't
I-
have- it-
I
you
want to
said-
punch you right in the ovaries.
You said a whole bunch of stuff with like, hey, what if this could fly itself with AI? Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what would be the application of having it fly itself with AI? Hey, how about an immediate escape from a dangerous situation? How about
Mine was more broad. You're getting pedantic.
it's not pedantic. It's
Very
just
pedantic.
it's useful and utilitarian. Like if you're going to talk about the ability that something has, you should probably have like, I don't know, the reason for why it has that ability.
I think this application in its form has been surpassed. However, I think you could mix the two and make something. I just don't know off the top of my head what.
Let's say you're in
The
a
best
super,
platform would
let's
be.
say you're in a super tall building and that building is attacked. And then like you could use that to get to the ground from any level whatsoever instead of staying in the building.
Yeah, but you could probably save 40% by only having those stories 39 and below, and then everybody else gets parachutes. You got to look at the cost, okay? You don't want to be overspending for no reason.
I'm over here trying to, prevent the devastation of 9/11 and you're over here making a
No.
cost a part of
I
it.
understand, but like they're expensive. Parachutes, probably a fraction of the cost, and they're high enough up.
Parachutes aren't controllable. They're not controllable enough to deal with updrafts next to a building.
You think Marge from accounting knows how to run that thing?
That's why it has
Don't
AI.
tell-
That's why it has AI. That's why when we
now we got an AI version.
It's literally how we started talking about this part. Okay. It's just stupid.
This is the dumbest thing.
I hate doing the show with you.
You're welcome.
I only do it because your wife pays me money to be
No,
your
she
friend.
doesn't.
She does.
She doesn't
She pays
have
me
any
money
money.
to be your friend.
She doesn't have any money.
She's paying me your money to be your friend.
Not true. I don't give it to her.
That's not going to age well.
No, it probably won't.
Make that a clip and send it to her. She'll love it. Probably. I got spare place in the barn. You can come live out there.
I don't got anything
It's
to
heated.
give her. Have you seen the gas prices? They still haven't gone down enough. We need more.
What to bring more? What
Fuel prices down.
that'd be great,
I drive a lot.
dude. It's been at like $3.19 for like a while.
Diesel.
No, I understand diesel. I'm saying I'm looking at because usually it fluctuates quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like 3 weeks. It's been like
$3.19. It has.
It's been
It
way
dipped
more
down and then it
stable than
came
it's
up
been
and
for a
then it
super
just
long time.
stayed there.
Which we should probably look into that at some point. Like what?
I would say diesel's been stuck at like $3.39, $3.49. One of
Yeah,
those two.
that's a weird. That to me is weirder than the price fluctuations. It's weird that all of a sudden they're like,
because
we're
it's
good.
not normal.
Right. That's what I said.
But even if it's stabilization, it's easier to plan off of. I mean,
Yeah, I mean you can at least budget off of it. Okay, now you're getting us off topic.
we didn't have a topic.
We got all kinds of topics.
We had no topic. That's why we're just rambling.
Not
This was
rambling.
your idea not to have an idea.
We have an
It
idea.
was a terrible idea.
You're a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yep. Play this video. This
Did you know?
I didn't.
is this
The military is
technology
testing
like
exoskeleton
outdated at
suits
this
for
point?
soldiers and have been
I
doing
don't think so.
for
I think
years. Here's why. Military forces are testing
I think again
exoskeleton suits for
this
soldiers
this
to
has
enhance
its
their physical
application,
capabilities and combat
but I don't think it's
effectiveness.
mass wide
These
because
suits,
I
often
think we're going to
powered by
run into a
advanced
lot of
technology,
stuff that's
offer
like
several advantages.
fully autonomous that can
Load-carrying,
do a lot of
enhanced
things or
mobility,
robotics
reduced
Right.
physical
that can handle
strain,
mundane
increased
tasks.
endurance, and giving
So this is going to
soldiers
be for
tactical
more
advantages.
one-off
Right.
Ultimately,
type of
ensuring the
situations and
readiness
needs.
success of
I would
future
agree with that.
military
I
operations.
did
Did you
again,
know
like I can see
the military
a lot
is
of stuff
testing
in the
exoskeleton
military
suits for soldiers and have
that
been
we
doing so for years.
that the military
Here's why.
develops like ends
Military
up
forces
in
are testing exoskeleton
like
suits for
regular
soldiers to
civilian
enhance
world
their physical
Yeah.
as like a
capabilities and
useful thing.
combat effectiveness.
I see this being
These
way more
suits,
useful
often
in the
powered by
civilian
advanced
world
technology,
or
offer
on
several
again
advantages.
your tier
Improved
1
load
guys.
carrying, enhanced
But
mobility,
if they-
just the
physical
leg things, I
strain,
mean, depending on
increased
what the
endurance,
cost
and
is,
giving
that could be an
soldiers tactical
easy
advantages.
thing to get mass
Ultimately,
wide over a
ensuring
few
the
years.
readiness
If they
and
can
success
figure
of
out the
future
battery
military
pack
operations.
and the power
Did you
source,
know?
right?
Well, and it looks
The
like a lot of them
military
got
is testing
backpacks. That's
exoskeleton
probably
suits
the
for
battery
soldiers and have been
pack.
doing so for
I would.
years.
That's what I would assume, but
Here's
I'm
why.
saying for like your average
Military
infantry guy,
forces
like
are
you're
testing
carrying
exoskeleton suits for soldiers
what,
to
80,
enhance their
90
physical
pounds?
capabilities and combat
Right?
effectiveness.
No, God, no.
These suits, often powered by advanced
Fuck
technology,
no.
offer several
for a
advantages.
combat load.
Improved load carrying, enhanced mobility.
What do they care? What do
reduced
you think they're
physical
carrying?
strain,
As little as
increased
fucking
endurance.
possible.
Well, yes, I understand as little as possible.
But ain't
That's-
nobody,
I didn't
ain't
say
nobody going out with 80,
I didn't-
90 pounds on a nah.
mortarmen,
Did you know?
Dude, they
military
mix,
is
they
testing
split that
machine
up.
gun teams. Yes,
They
I
split
understand
that up between everybody. I'm not, but
the basic of the army pack is like if you need to carry 35 pounds. When is the last time
Yeah,
that
so
you
what that
actually
means-
carried 35
you're
pounds?
not,
in
you're
your
not
ruck?
going over like, I bet most
suits,
people's
often
between
powered by
40 and
advanced
55
technology,
max.
offer several
Because,
advantages.
Dude,
depending on what it is,
Load carrying,
No,
you,
take it-
you will
enhanced
take
mobility,
less. Like, oh,
reduced
do I
physical
need,
strain,
do I need a new
increased endurance, and
uniform?
giving
Water is
No.
stupid.
Do I need
Nobody
underwear?
needs
No.
water.
I need
No,
socks, water,
I
and
get,
fucking
I
ammo.
get that,
Future
Dom.
military
My
operations.
point is,
But 80 to 90, I think is very
The
high.
military is
Of
testing
a-
well, maybe let's
exoskeleton
call it
suits for
50.
soldiers and
Yeah,
have been doing so
I'll
for
give you
years.
that one.
Here's why.
You're
I
welcome.
always bump it
Forces are
up
testing
because it's like
exoskeleton
you
suits for
any
soldiers
okay.
to enhance
and
I
here's
don't
my-
because you
here-
have to take
here's-
into the
here's my thought
consideration-
process
No,
on
you're-
this. Hold on. Here's my thought
Your
process
vest.
on this.
Advanced
Is
technology
you got your vest,
offers several
you got your
advantages.
pack. Let
Improved
I'm
load carrying,
approaching it not
Are you
from like
including vest?
Reduced physical
Yeah.
strain, increased endurance, and
well,
giving
yeah,
soldiers
Then we're on
yeah,
the same
because
page.
That's why I said your combat.
Then we're on the same page.
ensuring the readiness and success of future
Also, if
military
your combat
operations.
load, man,
Did you
that's a
know?
lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like I can
Military
definitely
is
see
You almost
this,
need more
this
in the
kind of
front,
stuff
too.
Soldiers have been
going
doing so for
to like
years.
the average soldier,
Here's why.
but
Military forces
like
are
it's
testing
mission
exoskeleton
specific
suits for
almost.
soldiers to enhance
If
their
you're in a
physical
if you're in a
capabilities and combat
direct
Well, yeah.
effectiveness.
combat, if
You're
you're
gonna
in a,
take that out on
Powered
just a
by
day
advanced
trip.
technology,
well, you
offers
might.
several advantages.
Well,
I mean, I could see you taking
Improved
out for a
load
day
carrying,
trip, but
enhanced
this is
mobility,
more
reduced
like
physical
your
strain,
near peer
increased
force on
endurance,
force,
and giving
not
soldiers
coin
tactical
operations where it's like
I could still be
you go
cool.
out from the base and you come back.
We've done
Maybe in
that.
Afghanistan.
Yeah,
These
I
are
was
been
going to say
dope in
Afghanistan. Yeah,
Afghanistan.
not you know,
Okay.
Iraq necessarily.
Paratroopers, because you brought up
Here's why.
paratroopers earlier when we were watching
Military
this.
forces are testing
This
exoskeleton
would be
suits for soldiers to
sweet
enhance their
Yeah.
physical
for
capabilities
paratroopers.
and combat
Because then you can drop them
effectiveness.
off just a little bit
These
further
suits,
out of the
often
range
powered
where they
by
may not be
advanced
known, but
technology,
then you get
offer
troops
several
close enough.
advantages.
and then
improve
use
load
that to
carrying,
go that extra
enhance
distance
mobility,
without being winded before you
reduced
got to get
physical
into
strain,
fight.
Get there and not be
increased
tired.
Yeah.
endurance, and giving soldiers
I
tactical
could see that
advantages.
being mass produced, but those
Ultimately,
backpacks got to
ensuring the
you got to
readiness
figure
and
that out.
success-
I don't know what we do with the backpacks. It
Or
well,
again,
okay. So we
That's
talked
future
about
military-
talked about before,
maybe
like
you build
our,
it into the pack.
yeah. But we've talked
During
about before, like our
Did you know the military
like
has
those
tested
nuclear
exoskeleton
batteries, right?
Yeah.
for soldiers and have
So if something like that could be
doing so
powered
for
forever,
years. Here's why.
I'll say if
Military forces
is
are
that
testing
is that nuke
exoskeleton
battery
suits for
from a
soldiers
bullet
to
shot?
enhance their physical capabilities and combat
What do you mean?
effectiveness.
Like what if it gets
These
hit?
suits,
Is
often
that not
powered
going to
by advanced
destabilize it to a certain?
technology,
I mean,
offer several
maybe,
advantages.
but
Mhm.
you're
Improved
worried
load
more about that or the
carrying,
bullets,
enhanced
dude.
mobility.
Like, what are you gonna be-
I'm just asking
Oh.
is, would you rather be a World War II flamethrower guy than wear the egg?
Ensuring the readiness and success.
I think I'll take the
I don't
egg,
know.
dude.
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
no, I'm gonna take the egg.
Because
I'm
then
gonna
I'm
take the egg
taking
all the-
everybody with me.
I'm taking the nuclear battery
Here's why.
over the flamethrower all
Military
day. What
forces are
was it
testing
like?
exoskeleton suits for soldiers to
The
enhance their
estimated
physical capabilities
survivability
and
within like within island hopping campaign, if you were a flamethrower, was like less than 3 days. It was like, hey, thanks for showing up, bud. It's been good to know you. I'll forget you in 3 days because you won't be here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I will. RoboDog can do flamethrower.
Yeah.
I'm not doing flamethrower.
No need for it anymore.
No. Dude, okay. Based on our previous conversations, we're talking about drones. We got into a little bit about like the humanoid drones.
Mhm.
Does this tech actually make it? And this tech, I mean like the exoskeleton stuff. Does this actually make it into the military as something that's going to be used regularly, considering the advancements that we've already had in humanoid drones? Like this stuff is going to, I feel like this stuff is going to go more into the civilian side than it will go into the military side. And even then, it's kind of like it's tech that's been surpassed. Like it almost has been surpassed to the point where
has this been the exoskeleton? Has that been surpassed?
I think as far as usefulness, it's probably been surpassed. I think that what we're gonna end up seeing is that like this tech is super cool. It's gonna fill this gap between like humans having to do like these hard labor kind of things and humanoid robots. And then we will use this kind of stuff eventually as like sporting equipment. Because
I don't know. I think it'll have its place. I don't think it would have had the mass adoption if it would have been a little bit better perfected 10 years ago.
right,
Where it would have been implemented more, but
right, because of the advancements of technology and drones and
Right.
humanoid robots, I think this kind of stuff is going to be more of like a novelty and used not because humanoid robots are eventually going to replace
be more niche.
the attacking soldier and the like hard labor, like picking up heavy things, moving them around a warehouse, doing all that kind of heavy labor
I think it
work.
still has a lot
We
of
don't-
like look, you know, any type of manual labor job that might require a human, it could help.
Well, yeah, it could help. I'm
The
just saying
easy
it don't-
ones, like a fireman going up a place where the elevator's not working.
100%.
Like I
But
think it.
Why
I think
would
it,
we not have firefighter humanoid robots? Why would we have? Look, we're getting. To
We're
the
not
point-
anywhere. Well, we're not there yet, so I think it still has its place
right
for now.
I don't think it's more than 15 years.
I think it's more of a Band-Aid versus a suture.
100% agree with you.
I think it
100%.
does a better job than we can
But-
do now.
but after-
until we can get to that next level.
But after,
But
right?
we know what
Once
the
we
next level is.
Once
it's
we
just not
reach
there.
the level where like humanoid robots are doing all the dangerous stuff,
Yeah.
I could see this like, hey,
You want to
you
go climb
you
Everest again?
No. Even worse than that. Like, oh, you want to go pick up your baseball gear? That's cool. Oh, you're a catcher? Good. So you got to get your catcher's mitt and your pads. And by the way, here's your built-in exoskeleton so you don't ruin your knees when you're 12. Right? That's the kind of like weird niche stuff
Yeah.
that once we surpass the point
Using
where
it
we
for like a
actually need it for
preventative
work,
harm type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for work. It's just going to be.
I like the positive outlook on you on that one. Look at you go.
That's a first.
Yeah.
Also,
pessimistic John.
Also, flamethrower dogs. And so now we're back to just being completely screwed.
I love flamethrower dogs.
I do too. I love that.
Irresponsibly, I think we should buy one.
I think we should. I think we should introduce my dog, Bo, to the flamethrower dog and then watch them play. Without a flamethrower, because I do like Bo. He's better than a robot dog.
Yeah, he's real hairy too.
He's very, but he doesn't have like another dog to hang out with. Like, would it be worth $3,000 to have a playmate?
$2,300.
Oh, sorry. Would it be worth $2,300 for him to have a playmate?
Under $3,000 to have the flamethrower attachment.
While we're not home? I'm sure he gets bored.
Or
like, I could get him a robot dog.
You could get him another fucking dog.
Like
Jana
already doesn't want him up near the house. So I don't think.
Do you think she's going to want Robo Dog?
Yes, because it doesn't shed. It doesn't, like defecate everywhere, and it won't jump up on her and lick her face.
Just give her a black eye when it jumps up.
It's not going to jump up. You can program it.
And then, that's the story John told me.
Oh, great. Good. Hey, my father-in-law at one point when I was working for him, he thought it was funny. And he's like, I had just like a weird vibe from some of the guys I was working with. I'm like, Jim, I don't understand what's going on. Like, getting a weird vibe from some of these dudes that I've worked with for a while. And he goes, oh, yeah. I might have had a conversation with him and said, I don't know. I really like John, but I think he's beating his wife. I'm like, Jim, why would you say
his daughter?
Why would you say that? And the grin on his face was just like, I was like, that is the most evil prank possible to pull on somebody. Like, you're turning all of my friends against me and you think this is hilarious. It didn't work that long. They knew I wasn't doing it, but it just was funny that it came from my father-in-law. Like, that's brutal.
It really shows the character. That people would look at you and be like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
That makes it worse.
And Jim knew that too.
I didn't think it through. I didn't think it through that far. Never hit my wife. I've thought about shaking the crap out of her, but I've never hit her. Is that legal? No. If you just shake, shake them. Probably not.
I feel like that's not legal anywhere.
All right, well then.
For anything.
I've never thought about that.
Anything with a heartbeat, I'm pretty sure that's a problem.
Anything? I'm pretty sure you could, like, shake the crap out of a snake and most people aren't going to bother being worried about it. Especially if it was a robo snake. We need to make one. Get a hold of Palmer Lucky right now. Email him. We need a robo snake. We need one.
We need to send him some ideas.
Dude, so how many
PSYOP.
How many of our ideas would actually like fit into the rules for the Geneva Convention? We've talked about some stuff.
Okay, think about this one, right?
Okay.
Because I was thinking of this after I watched it.
Hey, public platform. Go.
I don't know anything special anymore. I've been out long enough. Nobody cares. But like Commando Solo, right?
Yeah, the thing that we never get to play with ever. Mostly.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway. But there's what, 2 of them, 3 of them in the entire fleet, whatever.
Yeah,
and they're always running and they just get bounced around. But like, think about taking, for those who don't know, the Commando Solo is basically just I think it's C-130, right?
C-130.
Yeah. C-130, C-7, whatever the fuck platform it's on. It's just an aeroplane with the capability to jam, take over signals, as far as like radio, television, not just like radio station.
I'm pretty sure they can do cell signal stuff.
Cell signal, they can do some of that. And I'm sure it's even more than I even knew. And this is back years ago. But
because you're old.
Yeah. But think about it, right? With this drone technology, if you can find a way to compact that into a smaller platform like these autonomous drones, and especially with something like that lattice, where it doesn't have to.
You got to explain. You got to explain lattice because now you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
you're talking about something that
sorry.
we've looked into.
I went down that rabbit hole of pronounce the name of it. I can never do it.
Andrel.
Andrel. Yeah.
Andrel.
That thing. They got that lattice AI that basically lives the brain within the individual units, so that it doesn't have to require a signal that can be jammed or
Yeah. So it's. Each AI system lives within the brain of each individual piece of tech.
Right.
However, all of those pieces of tech are connected through intercommunication between all the different pieces.
Yeah.
So it's basically one giant hive mind, but there's no centralized brain anywhere that's dictating everything, right? So, okay, Star Wars, when you have all the drones that are like supposed to be taking over a planet and then they shoot the stupid mothership down and all the drones just fall over. That's because they had like one centralized place where all the communication was coming from. In this scenario with Lattice, all of those drones are intercommunicating with each other. And if one goes down, it doesn't interrupt any of the AI and anything else.
Skynet.
Absolutely Skynet. 100%. Just minus the core centralized location.
Anyway, back to me. So what I was saying is the Commando Solo that can take over all these different signals and radio waves and whatnot. If you were to deploy that into a smaller compact unit for just the individual things, you could, I mean, it's pre-programmed or whatever within that AI of like an area you want to go to. Then it doesn't need the signal. It just goes out there, covers an entire area. You could take over cities, states of television broadcasts or radio, cell phone, any type of communication.
Yeah.
You can mass produce that instantly.
Okay, now you want to get really weird?
And probably for the fraction of the cost of that Commando Solo C-130, because there's only 3 of them, where that you could have thousands.
Give that technology to your standard PSYOP team. Integrate that Lattice.
No. I've met some dumb motherfuckers that probably should not have that.
Just give it to me.
Bring back the idea of the OE PSYOP guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Or sorry, WO PSYOP guy.
We could do it.
Bring back the idea of the warrant officer and allow him to have it at a battalion level.
I don't know. I've met some warrant officers, dude.
Warrant officers. Better chances.
No. Okay. So now you've got this system, right? That you can take over signals within a city. But that system, because so much of everything is digital now, like you don't need to have like a super high powered backpack that's going to physically take over all those signals. It's just going to communicate with Lattice satellites that are going to actually be able to, like, as they're passing over that area, deny a certain area of signal from space.
Even just the denial, the jamming, if you want to use it that way, or the receiving.
I don't care as much about jamming anything.
But the
But
output
dude,
of those
if we
two
could push messaging to any digital platform,
we can.
and right, but at the same time, we're denying any digital input except for ours. Just imagine a city.
Well,
like
and we have that, but
anybody
being
that's
able
watching,
to do it more than the limited capabilities we do now as far as coverage.
What's a stupid movie where like all of a sudden everybody's TVs turned to Guy Fawkes because they hacked into the TVs, right? What's that movie? It's got Guy Fawkes. It's whatever. The point is you have an entire city that's just like bebopping along, listening to the radio and the TV and on their computers. And then instantaneously, every single digital device, your phones, your computers, your TVs, your radio, everything just starts playing an automated message, pre-planned automated message, and you can't see anything else.
You mean like Commando Solo does?
Commando Solo on steroids, dude.
That's what it does.
It's part of it, but it doesn't interfere with computers. It doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No. Oh, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. You can look it up.
Oh, I mean,
It's on wavelength.
I don't know about
technology. Like,
the individual computer, but
that's
maybe
what
the
I'm-
internet service to
that's-
that area.
I don't even think it does that. I think it can block it. I don't think it can push messages.
Yeah,
Right?
okay, yeah.
So,
it might,
look,
it
this
might
is-
not be able to push. I don't
This
know
is what
about
I'm
that.
saying, right? I'm on here. I'm on the enemy version of Google's or whatever, and then all of a sudden, my screen just automatically starts playing this message. My TV behind me automatically starts playing the message. My radio automatically starts playing the message, all synchronized all at once. Like that power of tech is absolutely coming. With this, especially with this Lattice AI network, right? Because you're talking about
and that's
being
what I was
on a
saying
digital
as far as
network
being
already.
able to expand this, because right now, like even without, I'd say necessarily the technology of Lattice, but the sheer quantity that you can use, because those Commando Solos, like what's built out into those, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment.
Yeah.
Where I don't think we necessarily need that much built out, because since then shit has gotten down so much smaller and they're way up in the sky, so they need more equipment. If you had something more compact that you could get on a more localized level and just duplicate it into like almost a grid of them in a certain area,
Well, pull up
the same thing.
Pull up the Anduril website. And we'll
Hold on,
switch
we're
over
gonna
just so,
we're gonna have to take a little pause real quick.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got to pause real quick. I got to check something out here. And we're back. Thanks a lot, John, for wasting my time.
All right. Let's check this out. This is Anduril. Anduril. Company owned by Palmer Luckey. It's US based. This is the company that owns Lattice, the AI system. It's a weapons and defense company. And it's owned by a super based dude. Now, look, what we were just talking about was, hey, what if we had these little pods or something where we could be communicating in a way and preventing our enemy from being able to communicate, and especially from a PSYOP perspective, being able to push messaging. Think about that antenna system. The one that we're looking at right now is for it's basically like a mobile sentry. It's going to be looking for drones and troops or whatever
You
moving
could
into
put that
an
at
area.
your little outpost.
Dude, put it on an outpost or surround a city with those, and then be able to blast in messaging or to.
I suppose it looks bigger
block
than it is.
communications.
That's just sun or
I think that's a bigger one that they have. I think there's
Yeah.
smaller ones. There's
That
smaller
one.
ones that are like mobile,
yeah.
relatively mobile, but
I wonder how
this
small
is,
they go.
It's like a new siege warfare kind of idea, right? So instead of like surrounding a city and then launching rockets into it, you could surround a city with this thing and just prevent communication altogether. 24 hours a day, as long as you needed to.
Yeah, and then you use the aerial ones to hold it in the initial part, and then
Right.
you put those in.
Right. I mean, okay.
I
so-
like that. My first thought with it when I brought it up to you is like being able to coordinate that and just be able to have more of it on the space, because we're so limited on capabilities as far as how many units we have and where they're allocated, what they need to do, mission based, whatever.
It's like
Where this could
it's like the
expand
man-
it.
It's like the man packs, dude. Like you have like, right? Okay, so the man pack's it's a speaker basically. It's a long range speaker to be able to.
Yeah, but this is a lot
push out
higher
messaging.
level type of shit to be able to do, and you could bring it down to a lower level
Right.
and have a lot more effectiveness.
Right. So now you've got a specific house. And instead of going and sending out a loudspeaker broadcast, you just send a signal to every single device that's in that house that sends the exact same message, and it's silent. So none of the other houses know.
Yeah.
Dude, the applications of that for
That's an immediate type of
Yes.
thing.
But you could do immediate, and you could again, Fallujah, right? Fallujah, Iraq, super hot spot. This was what, 2008, 2007?
I was there, Nate.
in Fallujah.
Well, we almost made it to Fallujah. Somebody made a wrong turn.
Yeah. But
And the major's like, what the fuck did you say Fallujah for?
Huh? What was the hotbed year there? It was really
What's
bad.
that?
Like Fallujah was really bad.
I think that was before 08.
Yeah.
I want to say that was 6, 7. maybe?
Regardless,
I don't know.
what-
it
what-
might have been 8 too. Eight was like the real hard hit of the surge. So there was some shit going
You
on.
could just surround Fallujah with stuff like this at this point and basically deny entry or exit. This is what we used to do in warfare. It was like, we're gonna siege this village or this city. And you basically surround it and you go, nobody comes in, nobody goes out.
How'd that work for Solder City? We had T-walls around that whole fucking thing. And it was still a sketchy place, and they still got stuff in and out. It's like prisoners, man.
Yeah,
they got
dude, but
nothing
I
but
don't
time to
think that-
figure it out, and
yeah,
you're
but I
not
don't
thinking
think-
of that.
I don't think that's what we're not going for. Like, hey, we want to starve all the citizens.
No,
We're
but you
going
control
for-
the entry and
We're
exit.
going for control entry and exit and control information.
I would say this is more information than control entry exit.
Well,
this
this
is
what's up here right now is for
yeah. That's what I
controlling
thought we
entry
were
and exit.
keeping the focus, bud. Focus.
No. What I'm saying is you can use that same tower system to completely control the enemy's ability to communicate
Yeah,
and what messaging is going into the city.
yeah.
That's
But I don't know.
Game changing, dude.
I don't.
That would be game changing.
No, I understand, but I don't think you would necessarily need the towers, right? I don't think you would need more than the aerial because
Okay, so
I mean,
put them all.
but-
Put them
but-
all in
okay,
a little
hold on,
helicopter.
hold on.
I don't think the delivery
what I'm saying
method
is I
what
don't
matters.
think you need anything but the jammer on the surrounding perimeter. You don't need to put all the other shit in there. I think you just use the aerial for the messaging part. That can deny.
Okay, so
all that.
how long can a plane fly for? You want to put Commando Solo up and do that? How long can one of those? fly?
No. What I'm saying is jamming's different. You could put those up for jamming, the towers, because that takes a lot less and you don't have to complicate the system. That's how you make the other one so small. And then you just use the messaging in the aerial to push it out when you're doing the messages because you're not messaging all the time nonstop.
Why not?
Dom, you're not going to because like here's the deal. Like when I was in Afghanistan, we still did something similar, but we did it on more of a local level, and it wasn't necessarily taking over the radio waves. We literally created radio stations.
Yeah, I understand that.
So you can do that. It was just a bunch of dudes
What I'm
talking
talking
poetry
about,
and pushing
what
our
I'm
messages.
talking about is complete messaging denial.
We have that system without that. We've had that for years, just jamming.
Sure.
You're just jamming certain signals. That's why I'm saying I don't think you necessarily need the
I don't
message pushing in the tower system.
I don't think you're fully tracking where I'm going with this. Okay. It's not we're just going to jam your signals. It's we're going to jam your signals and then only provide our messaging
Sure.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Like complete blackout and control.
Yeah,
This is
you're not going to be playing something 24 hours a day. That's what I'm saying.
but you could.
Oh, yeah, but why?
Why?
You want to have long periods of break to keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just want them to go completely nuts.
Yeah.
Completely nuts. You could
Imagine if you can't call anybody and they don't tell you anything but
You
twice
can't.
a day every 12 hours.
you can't call.
They stay up
You
till
can't-
midnight, I
Sure.
guarantee.
Do that too.
And whatever message you
But
push
my point
is going to be heard and understood because you're not over complicating with a bunch of bullshit.
My point is we don't have the ability to do that right now. We can fly over, right? And we can like push a message out and we hope that it's something that gets there. We can deny access to signal.
I mean,
for
I
a
guess it
certain
depends on
period
what
of time.
platform.
Certain period. It's a certain period of time. There's nothing that we have right now.
Well,
that,
like,
that
no, I'm
denies
saying-
100%.
Right. Like, because
Right.
it could be TV, radio,
Right.
cell phone, whatever.
That's why what
Yeah.
I'm saying is a complete takeover and blackout. You could play the same message 24 hours a day, or you could just have an opportunity like you're going to get one message a day, but there's no incoming traffic and there's no outgoing traffic, which puts the enemy in a position to actually have to physically move
Right.
in order to be able to get their message out. And with something like that, they can't
That's when you
physically
track
move
'em.
either. This is
They can, but they're going to be found.
Sure.
Right.
But the point is like that using that style of what would be the best way to say it? Using that style of siege warfare where because we rely so heavily on like signal radio stuff or digital
Communication.
signaling communication. Now you have none. And your only opportunity is to physically move a message, which you can't do either because we're going to see you. This stuff has like...
We're going to see who's going in and out. And
these posts have... from what I understand, they have the ability to have sensors on them that are in the ground, right?
Oh, for seismic activity.
They can detect when you're digging tunnels. So you can't get out underground. You can't get out overground. Can't go in the day. You can't go in the night. This is the perfect setup to be able to completely
didn't even
shut
say they got
down.
LiDAR on there so you can even see subsurface level?
I don't know if I don't know. There's no reason it couldn't.
Maybe I misheard that.
There's no reason it couldn't. Look,
Right.
you've got this little helicopter.
I mean, that's
here.
such an... You want to do a whole new rabbit hole? The LiDAR with the pyramid right now?
Okay. I haven't even barely scratched the surface
I haven't either.
of it. However,
But just that?
dude, after looking into so many other things, after all the crap we were fed through COVID, after all the crap that I've been fed my entire life that has ended up being like not true, when they come and they go, hey, we found these giant like underground structures under the pyramids, it didn't even cross my mind to deny it, like at all. I was like, yeah, probably. I
Makes
don't know.
sense.
Just sure. Because nothing
Not that crazy these days.
Nothing else has made sense this whole time. Like, why not? Let's have giant power stations underneath the pyramids.
It makes the most sense. That's
Probably.
been the most realistic theory in my mind over the years, is people claiming that it was some sort of energy source or communication
they have,
device,
like-
and they found them all over the world.
They found batteries from that time period in Iraq and other areas around the Middle East. That's not an unknown technology. They were electroplating metals back then using these clay pot batteries. So and then you really want to do something stupid? Like someday, let's talk about Nikola Tesla. We won't be the first ones to do it.
Who was the FBI guy?
Dude.
Who was the FBI guy, John?
They killed Nikola Tesla.
Who's the FBI guy that took his documents?
Oh, I don't remember his name. What was his name?
I'm drawing a blank on his first name, but I remember his last name, and that's the part that's important.
What's his last name?
Trump.
We're being played. Oh, no. My guy. We're being played. God, I can't wait for Barron. I hope Barron becomes president someday and then just releases everything relating to the Trump family. Like, yeah, hey, look, I'm a time traveler. I had a book written about me. I'm back. I'm about to make things happen. Like, okay, cool. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore.
God, I can't even pull it up
You
because
gotta-
everything's
where's
about...
the story? Where is it? Where's the story for the? I can't change it. 'cause
No,
the
don't change
cursor's
it yet
not on the
because-
thing. Why? It'd be fun to let people watch the way you type into Google
Nah.
because you're just completely technology illiterate.
Huh.
Hurry up! I gotta go. I got kids to hang out with. I don't have time to be messing
No.
around with you all day. Was the FBI agent? His last name was really Trump? Huh? I don't believe that.
The Tesla conspiracy.
Nikola Tesla probably didn't invent a death ray, but
Here.
I feel like we could probably
Where's
admit.
FBI.gov? Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I don't even like...
great. That's
Ah,
a waste of
I don't
time.
even- I don't even-
That's a waste of time. Oh
Nikola
look!
Tesla Part 1.
Oh look! FBI records, the vault. Are you going to read through all that? I don't have time for that.
I can't read that.
Well, that's because you can't read.
Details.
Well,
I heard that.
You wanted to go down this rabbit
God,
hole.
what, Fred Trump, I think it was.
Fred Trump wasn't that his great grandfather, or was that his dad? Look up Fred Trump. Freddie. Oh, that's his dad.
Oh, fuck.
Fred Trump is his dad. So you're just an idiot. None of this is true at all.
I could have been a fool of my...
You probably went to Reddit and just started reading some nonsense. You can't trust Reddit, man.
Well, the problem is I put in Trump FBI agent and all the other bullshit shows up before it. So it's like, I can't even look for the goddamn...
I don't know. So you know that Tesla,
John G. Trump.
Nikola Tesla was basically trying to figure out how to get free energy from the earth.
Right.
I think it's possible. I think it's 100% possible, but I don't think that he figured out how to do it. Because didn't what's it?
Then why is there a conspiracy theory and they took all of his shit?
No, dude, somebody stole all his stuff. Who was it that stole all of his stuff?
Well, that was the conspiracy. And the one that I heard, I want to say, was the FBI agent with the last name Trump, from the thing I heard, probably a complete made-up bullshit thing, was that there was a certain amount of boxes and there was only a certain amount recovered by the FBI, and they think it was either stolen or maybe...
Yeah, but
not
Nikola
fully
Tesla,
turned in?
Nikola Tesla worked for... I want to say it was Edison. And I think Edison stole like a bunch of his stuff. Nikola Tesla initially worked for Thomas Edison, but their collaboration ended due to disagreements. But there was a big part of that where it's like, basically anything that Tesla did, Thomas Edison was the one that eventually got hands on it. And Thomas Edison was making too much money on all of his other electrical devices, and he had money in these companies that like provided power. So he wasn't just going to all of a sudden turn over that revenue to free power. Tesla also apparently invented a light bulb that would last forever. It never burned out. And Edison was like, no, because there's no recurring revenue in a light bulb that never burns.
That's not a new tactic. People knew this back.
Dude, Apple's been doing the same thing for forever. What do they call that? Planned obsolescence. Yeah. It's the same idea. It's not like it's not been around for forever. I don't know, man. We went way off track.
Extremely.
We started out with like exoskeletons, and now we're into Nikola Tesla. Neither one of us know enough about Nikola Tesla to speak on it.
That's why we jumped around so much here.
Is that just John G. Trump? Is this the one? I can't do it when you don't put me on the thing. I don't know how to help you. Like, there's only so much I can
you
do.
had it on there before.
It requires you to be.
Keep up.
All right.
Well, I know. Yeah, he's a thing at MIT, and
he doesn't look like Trump at all.
Uh-uh.
That guy's he's a faker. He doesn't look like me.
Paternal uncle of Donald Trump.
Oh, it's not close enough. But Trump's not it. Okay, this is where this whole thing falls apart, where it's like, oh man, like this Trump FBI agent stole a bunch of documents from Tesla and blah, blah, blah. And then Trump was like, cool, we have the ability to create cheap power, but we're going to get into real estate and construction instead. Wouldn't that make them like the dumbest people on the face of the planet? That's just my opinion.
I'm just going to see if there's anything about...
There's nothing in here.
Come on, it's Wikipedia. It
It's
tells
all
you everything and it's all
Wikipedia.
true.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes it gives you a start.
Wikipedia is garbage.
Yeah, but it'll get you...
Absolute total garbage. You know what? I really wish that somebody would sue Wikipedia as
how Tesla,
as
Nikola, Donald Trump are connected.
Yeah.
Yahoo Finance.
Okay, great. I
you
wish,
know it's real.
I wish somebody.
If
would,
you don't follow Yahoo Finance, fuck you.
I wish somebody would sue Wikipedia for being a publisher. And the reason I wish somebody would sue them for being a publisher is because
they're not the ones publishing.
No, they basically tagline by Wikipedia in their bylines. So they're not actually covered by the God dang it. What's the name of the it's like something 502, whatever. It's basically a law that says that social media platforms can't be sued for what other people post on their platform.
Yeah.
Right? Which is,
by the way, I found it.
Debating back and forth whether or not that's a good idea. But Wikipedia actively edits the stuff that's on their pages and then attributes it to themselves, and it's not correct information. So they are a publisher. They should be sued into oblivion, and they're a garbage website anyways. Okay, so you found, what did you find?
So I was wrong. He wasn't an FBI agent. He was a MIT professor, which was for like over 40 years or whatever. But the FBI called him and had him look over
He was in
the stuff they found. If any of it belonging was like a weapon of mass destruction, blah, blah, blah. 3 days investigation. There was no risk.
Yeah, he lied, dude.
Never
Tesla
actually
had,
made his death ray.
whatever. Tesla had some stuff. And you know what? It's probably stuff we used and we wouldn't even really think about it.
Right. Maybe it wasn't the Roswell crash. Maybe it was the Tesla documents that brought us into the future. There was only one alien, not a crash of one.
Every time
and Tesla was it.
Every time somebody's like, we took technology from an alien that crashed on Earth. And I'm like, okay, they're advanced enough to travel across the cosmos. They get to they get to Earth, are flying this advanced craft that was able to get here from another planet, and then they crash it on Earth. And these aliens that are so advanced don't have a friggin' backup plan to be able to recover their technology before the stupid ants on Earth get it. I don't believe in aliens.
You know what I heard the theory on that is?
Stupid conversation. What?
Radar.
What radar? What do you mean?
The signal from the radar is what made them crash.
Okay.
Because the last time they visited, we didn't have nothing like that.
Yeah.
And they weren't sure of it, and it somehow conflicted with their alien stuff.
Yeah. Again, they flew light years away.
Or from under
in
the
a
ocean.
Space. Well, that's different. Then they wouldn't be aliens, would they? They'd be oceans.
Inner worldlings.
Dude, I just hate the argument of like, oh man, like these aliens, they crash landed and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah, their technology is so advanced that they can travel from one planet to another, which we can't even do at this point, at least not in manned spacecraft. And then they get into the Earth's
Maybe there was a supernova.
They get into the Earth's atmosphere and they just suddenly their technology's garbage. Oh, okay.
Well, what if they're from so far away they didn't know that?
It's an illogical, stupid argument.
If we took some of our technology over to their place, it might fuck up like that.
Hey,
if we had the technology
if we took
to get
our
there,
technology
you know what I mean?
from here to Mars, right? And
Mars is pretty close.
Right.
I wouldn't count that.
Are there aliens within our solar system? As much as we watch our solar system, do we have have we found them on any other planet? No, we haven't. So either they're smart enough to hide themselves.
That's because we're from Mars. Mars was the original planet. And that's why it's red. It's burnt to a crisp.
Don't.
We were already interplanetary.
Yeah. So we were on this planet in Mars, and somehow we managed to screw up the atmosphere so bad that we decided we were going to a closer planet to the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, throw that fucking.
What's the average temperature on Mars?
I don't like those fucking dinosaurs. Throw that rock, and then we're gonna go.
Somebody kill the lizards. Look,
what are you trying to figure out?
I'm gonna figure it out right now.
Figure what out?
I'm gonna have Grok figure it out.
What's the question?
I'm gonna tell you. When
I could probably tell you. I don't need Grok.
Yes, please. I'm gonna default to you. Average temperature on Mars.
97.2 degrees.
if it had an intact what would you call that?
Ozone?
Yeah. Let's try that.
96.8 degrees.
Let's see.
Same as a human body.
Mars currently has an average surface temperature of about negative 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, okay.
Nuclear fallout.
Dude, no, it's dumb. The temperatures don't
We
even
come
line
from
up.
Mars.
Let's see. If it had, let's see. Mars suggests an average temperature could rise with a proper ozone to negative 4 degrees. So with an intact ozone layer and a thicker Earth-like atmosphere, Mars' average temperature might climb to roughly negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now you see why we had to get to Earth. So it was a
Dude,
little
no,
warmer.
it's like, oh, well, we came from Mars. Like Mars has
Well,
been,
yeah, back
Mars has
then-
basically been an uninhabitable planet
For hundreds of thousands of years until we got to Earth.
for probably since its entire existence, since it's that far away from the sun.
They used to be ahead of us. We cut in
Well,
line.
dude, look, I'm all for global warming. If we want to try and go global
Mars was
warm
on its way
Mars.
back. We hopped.
Yes.
It went out. That's how it works. It's science, dude. Ask Bill Nye. He told me.
I hate that guy. I hate that guy. Didn't he go to school for like business manager? That guy's, I don't like him. I know what you're trying to do right now. You're trying to get me to go. We've gone down so many rabbit holes.
Yeah, it's
Now all
been
of a sudden
fun,
we're
isn't
trying to do like the Bill Nye.
Welcome to this episode of ADH Dom.
What else can we, you know what? Let's not get into anything else.
I feel like we've gone down a rabbit holeness of a nothingness, and we should be okay with that.
I'm all right with it. Should we just start pulling up shorts off the internet that have nothing to do with what we started talking about because they're funny?
You want to just go down a rabbit hole? Hold on.
We've been down one.
Hold
this
on. Let's
entire
start.
time.
Which just pick 1 through 5.
3.
Oh,
Oh no.
boy, did you make a mistake. We're going to see what these hoes got to say.
Oh no.
I want to have a big family and have lots of kids, but I shouldn't feel the pressure of society to.
I think we all need that pressure. It's like a good pressure that we've got. It's like duty. We
Yeah,
have like
for
a
men
duty.
to say that because guys don't have like a time clock.
Yeah, but we've got other disadvantages. You know, we've got lots of disadvantages.
Like,
Well, the fact that we don't get any attention sexually when we're younger. When a guy's 20, 21 with no resources and he's still probably got like pimples on his face and ugly, girls don't really look twice at them.
I mean, same with girls.
Are you joking? Girls who are in between 20 and 24 in their sexual peak, they get the most
I thought
attention.
you were talking about high school.
I'm not really talking about even young guys in high school. I mean, we should pull up one of my high school photos. I was disgusting. But,
Not me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Can't say
ours-
that.
ours-
No,
we
I
have
was
to
pretty
develop
gross.
ourselves as men, and
I could see that
getting
with you.
into your 30s when you've got more
I'm all right
resources,
with
you're more competent, you're a better leader. This is when you
Ah,
start to get more.
all right.
I'm over it.
So-
Do it a few times a day. Just say
We'll
like
go
that.
back.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's not wrong. He's not
No.
wrong. Like what is okay, so what's the value of a man? Like intrinsically, what's the value of a man in society?
What they provide.
Yeah. Can you provide anything at 20? I mean, most men can.
A good laugh.
A good laugh. Yeah. But like there is something intrinsically valuable about women, especially when they're in their peak of like being able to create babies, because you're expanding the human race as a whole. The value in men comes when they actually can provide like,
Primal.
a stable financial situation and a stable protection situation. That's where men's value is.
It's never changed.
So it's
The
offset.
principle's
Like,
never changed. It's just changed a little bit of how it looks.
Yeah. But I'm just saying like older men, like in their late 20s and 30s are far more valuable than like a 20-year-old dude. But
Back when
a
you had
young-
to hunt
but
and
a-
provide and
yeah,
provide.
but a
and
younger woman who
it just
who-
looks different now.
A younger woman who has a better chance of having healthy offspring in their early 20s is more valuable than an old woman who can't do that
Are
anymore.
you calling my wife a geriatric pregnancy?
I'm not. Talk to your doctor. They're offset, right? It's kind of a goofy offset, but they both make sense, but it's a goofy offset.
So what you're saying is they're
pisses me
not
off
equal?
at all. And what pisses me off is it's like, for whatever reason in this society, like we've decided that we're gonna make up that everyone is the same value all the time. It's like, well, that's not true.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's just not true. Like if I need to like pick up this super heavy thing over here and it's going to take 2 people, I'm not picking a 13-year-old boy. I'm going to call like another adult that's my size and my ability to do that. Like why, especially with the sexes, why have we decided that like we're the same? All it does is drag men down and give women a false sense of strength that most of them don't have. And instead of me
I feel like you're going down a rabbit hole.
No,
You're going to get
instead
in so
of-
much trouble.
fine, but instead of me using my strengths to offset my wife's weaknesses and her using her strengths to offset my weaknesses, I've been told she's fully capable of doing everything that I can do, but I've not been told that I'm fully capable of doing everything she can do. So now I'm at a net negative. I'm literally valued as less.
You have to be told that.
No.
Like, you can't be controlled if
dude,
you think you have value.
Dude, look, if I have a question about how my car is going to get fixed, not calling my wife.
No.
Right? And I would never in a million years expect that I should call her. Are there some women out there who know a whole lot about auto mechanics? Yes, there's some.
But that's the
not,
minority.
That's not the norm.
Right.
Right? So why are we as a society playing this game where we're going to make the extremes the norm? Why are we doing that? Why are we disvaluing men for what their strengths are and then overvaluing women for what their weaknesses are? That to me is just totally backwards.
To change your mindset.
And like you can see this throughout history, like feminism, the feminist movement in this country ruined so many marriages, and so did Ronald Reagan, by the way, because he decided that you could have no fault divorce. That he's the one that was in charge when that became a thing.
Who was at fault before?
As far as what? Like, dude, the divorce.
If it's a no fault divorce, who was at fault before?
Hold on. The divorce rates before that were, I mean, you can look at the chart. It's like, we don't have no fault divorce, and then boom, we have no fault divorce. What it did was it gave people an out to be like, well, I don't actually need a reason. I can just leave. And the people.
So the ramifications and all that never changed. It was just a matter of you didn't need a reason.
You didn't. Right.
Nothing else changed.
Before that, you needed a reason. Like legally, you
needed a reason.
You needed a reason to leave. Like your husband
unreconcilable
is beating you.
differences. Blah blah.
I don't
blah.
know unreconcilable differences.
Is that what that was?
That unreconcilable differences was no fault divorce. Like, oh, we just can't figure it out.
Okay.
And so, as a society, we were like, well, it got hard, so just stop. Like that.
It made it easier,
dude. Way easier. And who benefited from that becoming easier? Was it men?
Mm-mm.
No, it was women. And you know what's super funny about that is that men typically are the ones who would prefer to have multiple sexual partners with no responsibility, right? Like hardwired, that's kind of the thing. Is like be with as many women as you can.
I love
As a
Johnny
man.
Appleseed.
That
Man was meant to go around America and spread his seed.
It's kind of a good explanation, right? But for whatever reason, men are on the losing side of that, and mostly because
You can only plant so many trees in that patch. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what it is. It's men for whatever reason intrinsically have this pull in them to provide out of duty. There is something about men that's like, I am using my time for the benefit of those around me because that's what provides me my value. My value isn't me. My value is how others flourish around me because of what I can provide. Women's value, oftentimes, when you start to look at like how this works with the no-fault divorce, women's value is how happy am I?
I think that's more based off of a logical brain and a emotionally based brain.
Right. Which we are.
Would you say that's different?
They're hugely different, but that's what we're basing all of our decisions off of right now. Instead of saying, "Hey, look, we understand that there's a difference between how men and women typically like interact with the world," and instead of celebrating the things about them that are great, we're going to demonize the things about men that we find to be lacking, and then we're going to uplift women in areas where they shouldn't be uplifted because they're using emotions as their primary driving instinct. Look, man, I would be super happy if I could fly. So if I wanted to follow my emotions and jump off a freaking really tall building,
I like where this is going.
Okay, I'm going to hit the ground and die, but at least my emotions were satisfied and I was happy. Dude, we have really taken a left turn in this podcast, but
We need to do something, and it was fun. But yeah, maybe we'll wrap it up and
just be happy to be a woman. Be good and happy with the strengths you have. Women, men, be good and happy and follow your duty. And
Why are you preaching right now?
I'm preaching, dude, because nobody did for so long, and now we have men walking around in dresses telling you that you should call them Michelle. Like, no, Brad, I'm not doing that. Sorry.
It's man show.
Brad's walking into the office with the high heels on. Click, 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 click. Hi, I'm Michelle. Ah! Oh, my.
What up, Big Mike?
Hey, that crap, that might work in Thailand. That's not going to work over here, bud.
And on that note, I think we have reached the end.
Cancel me. I don't care. I'm right.
I don't think it's canceled. I think we're just done for today. It's like when you get kicked out of the bar, and I know you know this one, John. You don't have to stay away, but tonight, I think we're done.
I think one time that happened.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have some fun here. We'll get out of here.
You never know what's next, yeah, it's always fresh. Dive into the chatter, get lost in the mesh. Woo. Life hacks, laughter, wisdom in disguise. Host got you covered, hit you with surprise. Moments you didn't know you needed in your ears. Hey, bud. Podcast, cheers to all your fears. Ride the wave with us in humor and in facts. Current events, nostalgia, ever-changing tracks. No limits to our topic, sky is not the end. Hey, bud. Podcast where strangers become friends.